Hi, the position of the sun is probably one of the most important parts of your horoscope, which will tell you so much secrets about the person or about yourself, which can give you an indication even about your career, which can give you an indication of where to find actually the sun, as I have written here, will give you a sense of identity, the main role in your life. It will give you a sense of personal power, where you're going to get your personal power, your self-confidence, your self-esteem. And if you develop the house where the sun is situated, which I will teach you how to do this, you will gain all of those things. And usually the sun develops, starts becoming more visible and starts developing in the life, the energy of the sun, after the age of 30. So you might start seeing that you're filling up those roles indicated by the sun, and that your confidence and personal power starts coming better and better after the age of 30 and more visible. And how do you find which house the sun is situated in your horoscope at the moment when you were born? There are two ways, and I want you to check it both ways. It's complex to explain why, but there are two house systems, and I want you to check it both ways. They both work. One is based on the ascendant, on the signs. The other one is based on the separation of the space around by certain spatial measures, which is too complex to explain. Just make sure that you check both ways. Sometimes they will be the same, sometimes there will be a slight difference. How do you find the house system of the sun? You go to my website, AstroLada.com. You enter your time of birth. It's very important to know the house position of the sun. You cannot find it without the time of birth, because the house system are based on the time of birth. So this is only for people who know their time of birth at least within 10-15 minutes of exact time, and enter it. And once you get the chart, this is the chart I have. Those of you who know Western astrology, they might be using such a chart. It doesn't matter, it's the same, it shows the same. It's just the beginning of the chart that I have on my website starts here at the top, the first house. This is the horizon, the eastern horizon. The beginning is always the eastern horizon. We put it on the top in the in where my website is, but the Western chart will put the ascendant here on the on this side. You know, just the beginning of the two charts is different. And I want you to check where the sun is situated. The sun will be indicated by SU, the letters SU. And I want you to see in which of the squares it is situated, counting from the ascendant. So if this is always this first square is the ascendant, and this is how the other signs progress. So we want to see in what sign from the ascendant the sun is relevant to the ascendant. So you just count. For instance, the sun might be here. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in the fifth sign from the ascendant. So you remember the fifth sign and you watch the video for the sun in fifth house. And I want you also to check in which house the sun is in relation to the Roman numerical numbers that I have on my website. They indicate house cusps. They're more specific. They're more how do I say, more sharp expression of the position of the sun. And for instance, here, it might be, where is the fourth square, it might be the third house cusp. It's the fourth sign from the ascendant, but it might be the third house cusp. And I want you to check if your sun is here, also the video for the sun in the third house. So basically, I want to, for instance, if your sun is like that, I want you to check the sun in fourth and in third houses, because both the number of signs the sun is from the ascendant will count as a house, and both the house cusp, which is with the sun will influence this house cusp. So the sun will feel like being in the third house and like being in the fourth house. And also here you might also have the cusp of the second house, the second Roman numerical, you know. So I want you, if you have two of those Roman numerical numbers, check both houses, third and second house, for the explanation of the position of the sun. For most of you, it will be very simple. Sun, it says here. If sun is here, it will be the second sign from the ascendant. So you check the second house and the second house cusp from the ascendant as well. For most of you, for 70%, it will be the same. The sign from the ascendant and the house cusp that is in that sign will be the same. But for some people who are born a bit to north, or too south from the equator, there will be a difference. And I want you to check specifically the Roman numerical number, what number it is. Check the video for that sign, for that house, and also for the number of the sun counted from the ascendant, in which square it is. Thank you. Sun in the 10th house. And it will be usually indicated here. If it's in the 10th square or together, it's always more strong when we're looking at the house cusp. Which house cusp is the sun in the same sign with? The sun might be even here in the 9th sign, but together with the 10th house cusp, which is indicated by the Roman numerical in my chart. So if you see the sun together with the Roman numerical 10 in your chart, you should know that your sun is influencing the 10th house. It can be here as well sometimes. And in Western astrology, the sun will be here in the 10th house, which is the highest part of the horoscope. You see it in the chart here because this is the horizon. Here the horizon is placed like that in the chart that I have, but in the Western chart, this is the horizon and the 10th house is at the top, so the most visible part. So you're born around midday. If the sun is together with the 10th house cusp and influencing the 10th house cusp, you are born around midday. You are born when the sun was highest. So the most visible, most powerful position of the sun. These are the luckiest people of all, basically, who have the sun in the 10th house. They have the most powerful sun. And the 10th house is the most public, most visible house. The sun shines brightly there. So such people, they need to be respected. They need to achieve in the world. Such person will not be happy stuck at home if it has the same 10th house. Will not be happy not doing anything. 10th house is the house of material house, of a career, of profession, of reputation. Those people, they will get their sense of personal power and self-esteem when they're achieving something in the world. These are achievements, the 10th house. This is the things that you leave behind you, the big grand things that you leave behind you. Even if you're working somewhere in a shop or whatever it is, this is usually the career that is the 10th house. The big thing, the big work that you give from yourself to the world, your career, your achievement. So these people, they need to achieve, they need to be involved with careers. Even if you're a mom with children, then sometimes women can project that by finding partners. The sun symbolizes the male in the horoscope, who are achievers, who are successful, who are professional people, career people, who are visible in some way, who are very reliable there, or who are achievers, as I said, someone visible in society. This is the more, sometimes for women, most usually they might project the qualities of the sun and have a husband who is more like that. But usually it's best for everyone who has the sun in the 10th house, in order to feel confident and self-esteem, to be creating, to be working on something, to be leaving a mark in society, to have a career normally. And such people tend to reach heights, big heights in their career. And if they're not, and usually their career life blossoms after the age of 30 onwards, when the sun blossoms. Even if they were like home buddies before that, after they turn 30, they have more and more need of the spotlight and, for achievements, for worldly actions. Usually such careers that they have are ones where they can be leaders, where they can be bosses, they can be quite authoritative, those figures. And often the 10th house describes the father, so usually such person might be copying the father, who was quite powerful, quite authoritative. Or some other male figure that they were looking up, or some other figure in life they were looking up for respect, who was giving them inspiration. Such people, they need this personal power to be visible in the world, to be out there. Careers, as I said, are very solar, very leadership, very inspirational careers. You can be someone who inspires others, who leads others. And sometimes if the sun is hurt by difficult planets like Saturn or this North Node, there are some difficult planets, so Pluto, such person can become too authoritative, too bossy, suppressing others, can become can be a bit too egomania when it comes to their achievements, and can only base for instance, their soul identity. If they lose their career, they might feel devastated because they lose all sense of identity. Those people might identify too strongly with their careers and with their achievements. But usually they will grow the most, and they will put most energy and most vitality, what will energize them, their career successes and their achievements, in their achievements as well. And someone with the 10th house, some can be president, can be boss, can be working in government institutions, because 10th house rules anything which is to do with the government, with the ruling classes, and they can be celebrities sometimes as well, but they usually tend to have much more responsibilities, those people with the sun in 10th house. It's not just the title that they get, they usually have much more that is demanded from them as worldly actions when you have the 10th house, but they wouldn't feel happy otherwise. If you put someone with the sun in the 10th house at home, or to be a, in a very unnoticeable place in society, that they just bring them down more and more. Well, so if you put someone with the sun in the fourth house, too much in the visibility all the time, with too many responsibilities, this will drain them out. It's the opposite. But if you have the sun in the 10th house, your inspirational figure, your career is very important. Your personal power is derived from what you achieve in life and where you get. So yeah, these are interesting, powerful people normally. And actually, the better dignity the sun is. The sun is, for instance, if you have sun in Leo, sun in Libra, sun in Leo, sun in Aries is a very powerful position. Such people, definitely they're leaders. If you see them, the sun in the 10th house, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius as well, the other fire sign, you should know that these people will achieve a lot and they will leave a mark behind. Or unless they have given up their personal power to authority figures who are just who are too solar and who are too powerful over them. But usually it's best that the person takes their own power rather than project it to another person. Well, thank you so much. And please, those of you who have the sun in the 10th house, share with us what are your experiences. Did your career life take off after 30 onwards? Do you, if maybe if something is suppressing this position of the sun in the 10th house, please share with us so others can learn. Thank you.